It's time for the best coverage of high school football in the Valley. This is the Best Local Sports Show with sports director Blake Arthur and sports reporter Kenji Ito.
High school football is heating up literally and figuratively. Week 3 featured some high temps and some high scores, headlined by Palm Springs in their long-awaited home opener at historic Ralph Watts Stadium. Plus, soaring above expectations, the Golden Eagles of Desert Hot Springs try to stay unblemished on the season. It is Week 3 of high school football on the Best Local Sports Show, and it starts right now.
Football. Football's football.
Welcome into the Week 3 edition of the Best Local Sports Show. I'm sports director Blake Arthur. Kenji Ito will join the show here in a bit. Now, we start with Palm Springs making their official home debut after playing at Rancho Mirage High School last week, getting a win over Grand Terrace. Indians hosting Eisenhower at Ralph Watts Stadium. Cool new light fixtures for the Indians, and they deserved it. They didn't have a home game in their scheduled first home game. They had to play at Rancho Mirage High School, so the school doing a cool little thing for them with the lights. You love to see it, and they started playing well. After Ike went down and scored the first touchdown, Indians put together a nice drive. That's Jordan Johnson. Nice run off the left side. Big gainer put the Tribe in scoring territory, and Bishop Miller would do the rest. Quarterback sneak, most underrated play in football. Indians score and tie the game at 7. More Palm Springs, this time on defense. Koa Rapola does it all for the Tribe. Two-way stud, interception, and takes it to the house for a pick 6. Indians up 14-7 at home. And their offense was really moving the football, getting some big plays as they dial up the deep ball here. Number 10, DeMonte Lee. Great catch and a big gain for the Tribe, but unable to convert it into any points. But they did start to pull away in the second half. Miller rolls to his right. Looks like he's going to run it. Then he pulls up to throw it. And he's got Riker Miller. He takes it into the end zone for the touchdown. Indians up big 35-7. The game had to be stopped for an Eisenhower player. Ambulance had to come onto the field. We've seen a lot of these medical situations so far this season. We hate to see that. We just hope that the player is okay and recovers soon. The Indians pulled away in the second half, as I mentioned. Palm Springs gets the win in their real home opener. After losing the opener, the Tribe are now 2-1 on the year. Now, not far from Palm Springs is Desert Hot Springs, the Golden Eagles, with a chance to get to 3-0 with the win over Citrus Hill. First quarter, Jalen Turner hands it to Donovan Thornton for the early lead. Thornton runs over a defender, hangs onto the football, says, yeah, have some. 6-0 lead for DHS. Second quarter, Citrus Hill mishandled the snap. Golden Eagles recover. Big defensive play for the blue and yellow. Shortly after, it's Thornton again. Why not? Finds the end zone, his second touchdown of the game, pushing the pile there. Thornton would go on to have a huge game. DHS not satisfied. They go for 2. Turner throws a quick dart to Jair Broach. They cash in on the conversion. Golden Eagles would keep it rolling. Turner dials it up deep to Jamin Johnson, and Johnson comes down with it. Takes a hit to the head, it looked like, but he's okay. And the offense even better as they go to Thornton again. Not 1, not 2, but 3. Third touchdown of the game, up 14. DHS rolling, now up by 21. Desert Hot Springs stays hot, defeating Citrus Hill 22-12 the final. Golden Eagles 3-0 to start the season. Big ups to Roy Provost, his staff, and of course, his players. We are just getting started with the show. Coming up, we're going to check in with Coachella Valley. The Arabs look to bounce back after a last-second loss last week to Rancho Mirage. Plus, an all-local clash on the east side between the Rams and Conquerors. Desert Christian Academy, Desert Mirage, toe-to-toe in Thermal. We'll have those highlights, scores, and more on the way. Stay with us. You're watching high school football on the Best Local Sports Show.
You're watching the Best Local Sports Show.
Let's go play some football today, baby.
You're watching the Best Local Sports Show.
You're watching the Best Local Sports Show.
You're watching the Best Local Sports Show. You're watching the Best Local Sports Show.
Just in case you forgot what you were watching, and it's right there. Welcome back to the Best Local Sports Show, Week 3 of high school football here on News Channel 3. Last week, Coachella Valley and Rancho Mirage met in an early season showdown, and it really lived up to the hype. Two of the top local teams went toe-to-toe. Game came down to the final seconds. It was in the hand of Rattler star Kobe Finnegan. That was the difference in the game. A dub for Rancho and a defeat for CV. So the Arabs trying to bounce back with a home game against El Dorado out of Las Vegas, and CV had no problem with doing that. CV was cashing in early, especially on offense, after an 80-yard bomb for a touchdown to Aaron Ramirez from Derek Calderon. It was Ramirez on the ground. He had a huge night with 3 touchdowns less than 5 minutes into the game. I mean, this guy was balling and balling early. Jackpot after jackpot after jackpot for the kid they call Aaron 2K. But how about Mikey Rodriguez? Heck of a catch there, number 1 for CV, and then the touchdown here from Calderon puts it right on the money. That's just too easy for an offense that really will exploit you in so many ways. They can run it, they can throw it. This CV offense is loaded. CV led 28-6 after 1 quarter, and they cruised from there. Coachella Valley crushes El Dorado. Arabs bounce back this week and get to 2-1 on the season. 48-12 the final in Week 3. Staying out on the east side, Desert Mirage hosting Desert Christian Academy. Both teams 1-1 coming in, both with losses to Calipatria. This was a good game. Scoreless in the first quarter, though, but less than a minute into the second, the Rams get on the board. Oscar Alvarez, nice run to find the end zone here off the left side. Offensive line giving them some good blocks. That made it 7-0 home team. Desert Mirage in front. DCA now with it. Jaden Hurling, their quarterback for the Conquerors, rolls to his right, gets it to Asher Mawini. And Mawini's got some room, big gain there to put the Conquerors in territory. The DCA going to dial up the deep ball, and Jesse Snellenberger. Hey, that's Jim's kid. Great family and a great play by Jesse. The Conquerors tie the game at 7. They got a couple more touchdowns from the Garrison brothers, Judah and Josiah. Shout out to Matt Garrison, their athletic director, basketball coach, does a great job for DCA as the Conquerors win it 21-14, the final. Nice win for them on the road over the Rams. All right, before we look at some scores, let's go back to Thursday. We had a few Desert Empire League teams on the road, La Quinta, Xavier Prep, and Palm Desert. La Quinta squeaked out a 13-6 win against Rancho Verde. The Blackhawks stay unbeaten on the season at 2-0. It is early, but they look like a team that will be in contention for a league, no doubt. Meanwhile, Xavier Prep in Riverside against Notre Dame. The Saints steamrolled their way to a 47-0 win against the Titans, who have been outscored 147-6 this season. So look, Xavier was expected to win that game, and they handled their business and moved to 2-1 on the year. Not in the video, but want to mention Palm Desert. They picked up their first win of the year, 7-0 victory over Elsinore. Nice win for PD on the road. They're 1-2, and 29 Palms was shut out 42-0 at Victor Valley. The Wildcats fall to 0-2 on the season. All right, let's go to our scoreboard now and look at some results. Many of our area teams out of town this week. Shadow Hills was at Yucaipa, and the Knights suffer their first loss of the year, losing 41-17. They are now 2-1 on the year. Rancho Mirage, wow, what a win for them at Tockwitz. They squeaked by 3 points, 16-13 the final there. Rattlers coming off that win last week over CV, so they are 2-1. Indio having a rough season. The Rajas still winless, 0-3. They fall 35-0 at Barstow. And Yucca Valley, they've had a tough schedule here and a tough loss for them up at home against Serrano, 52-28. The final, you can find more on the scores and recap on our website. Just go to KESQ.com. Coming up, how about some college football? The Roadrunners are ready to go. The problem is their schedule is not. Wait, what? What do you mean? More on College of the Desert and their upcoming season, plus Week 3 of Blake's Best. What's that? You got to stick around to find out. You're watching high school football and college football on the Best Local Sports Show.
You play like you practice. Everything has to be full speed. You actually have to have 2 speeds, fast and faster. You know what I mean? And that's the bottom line. Need us flying around.
Boy, right here.
Sorry, son.
Yeah.
Roadrunners, go COD, baby.
Gotta love Jack Steptoe. I mean, come on. I've said it before, but he is one of, if not the best soundbite in the business, at least out here in the desert. Welcome back to the Best Local Sports Show. While this is primarily a high school football show, as the name indicates, we are also a local sports show. And College of the Desert is one of our teams. The Roadrunners were expected to start their season this Saturday at home, but not anymore. News Channel 3 sports reporter Kenji Ito joins the show now. He has more on the team and what it means with the schedule change. Kenji?
Yeah, Blake, thank you. As you mentioned, College of the Desert was going to make their season debut this Saturday, but that game has been postponed due to the heat and field conditions. The school sent out a release on Friday afternoon saying that the game has been postponed. The game against Glendale will be rescheduled for another date sometime in October or November, but I visited practice earlier this week ahead of what was supposed to be COD season opener on Saturday. Obviously, now we'll have to wait to see what the Roadrunners make their home debut, but rest assured, this team is ready to compete and get their season started.
I'm very excited, honestly, because, you know, this is what I live, this is what I breathe, this is what I really do.
Everybody from different states and everybody, you know, I feel like we're coming together a lot stronger, and I feel like it's going to be a different team just because we all have a story to tell and we all got something to prove, and right now I feel like our team's going to come out and do the work.
They understand what they have to do. They got to come out. We got to play better than our opponent. Period. Dot. Come out, do your job. That's it. Do your job. You know what your role is. Find your role, find your niche, and do your job.
And so with the changes, here's a look at the schedule for the rest of September. The Roadrunners' first game will be Saturday, September 14th at Santa Monica. Their first home game is scheduled for Saturday, September 28th against LA Pierce. We'll be sure to have coverage for you then. And obviously, you can find more on this story on our website at KSQ.com. And I actually got to catch up with a COD player at Desert Hot Springs today, and he was pretty upset that they had to cancel the game due to high heat. Reporting live in studio, Kenji Ito, News Channel 3.
Yeah, Kenji, obviously disappointing news for College of the Desert. Was excited to see them in action this Saturday, especially at home. But now that home opener is going to have to wait until the 28th. So we'll just wait and see how the Roadrunners do. But their first game, September 14th at Santa Monica. Thank you, Kenji. All right, time for Blake's Best, a new wrinkle this year where I show you something that stood out to me, my favorite thing, from this week on the high school gridiron. And this week it is the power of three. Desert Hot Springs as a team is 3-0, and they were led by Donovan Thornton, who had 3 touchdowns in the win. That is Blake's Best for this week. Thornton's 3 touchdowns, leading the Golden Eagles to a 3-0 start. They are the only team in the Valley that is 3-0 on the season, so big ups to Desert Hot Springs. Look, the Golden Eagles had a historic season last year, and they just continue to fly. So long way to go with this season, but so far so good for Desert Hot Springs as they are 3-0, the only Valley team at that mark so far here in 2024. That was Blake's Best, but which play from the week was the best? Well, you got to vote. Visit our website to see the nominees and cast your vote for which play you think should be play of the week. The winner will be announced on Monday. Kenji Ito will have all those plays for you Saturday and Sunday. I will have the winner for you on Monday, so be sure to go online over the weekend and vote. That is going to do it for this week's edition of the Best Local Sports Show. Thanks to our hardworking team who makes this all possible. And as always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.
News Channel 3 is now available on any of these streaming services. Watch live and on demand